All right, so we need to talk about what is genuinely the most spectacular waste of money in South African military history. And that's saying something because we've had some legendary fumbles. But this one, hey, this one takes the cake, eats it, and then bills you 7.7 billion rand for the privilege of watching them eat the cake. You see, in 2007, that's 18 years ago, when people still thought MySpace was cool and load shedding was just a weird myth, the South African National Defence Force signed a contract with Denel to replace our aging Ratel infantry fighting vehicles. The Ratels were designed in the 1970s, which means they were already older than most politicians' promises. So the government said, guys, you know what? Let's get some new vehicles. Let's do Project Hofester. We'll build 264 brand new Badger infantry fighting vehicles. It'll be great. The original budget, 7.3 billion. The actual amount spent so far, 7.7 billion. The number of vehicles delivered, that's not how South Africa works, guys. As my Afrikaans friends would say, fuck all. I want to show you the timeline so that I can put you on game real quick. The true timeline of failure. So that I can walk you through this absolutely legendary time of incompetence phase by phase. 2007, the contract is signed. Everyone is excited. We're getting new military vehicles, and 2014 to 2015, the VR laser services get contracts worth hundreds of dollars, well, hundreds of millions of rand to build the house. Pardon my Greece. Sounds great, right? Wrong! VR laser was owned by Gupta associate Salim Essa. You know, a member of the Guptas, the same family that basically treated South Africa like their personal ATM during state capture. And then came 2015 when I was in the 4th grade. They managed to complete, wait for it, 14 hull shells out of 217. That's a 6.4% completion rate. My guy, I've seen higher completion rates on abandoned Sims houses. And then came 2021. I was in the 10th grade here. Now, they said we need to cancel this contract because Denel admitted they cannot deliver within specification, budget, or timeline. That's the corporate equivalent of saying we have absolutely no idea what we're doing. And then came 2022. Former Defense Minister Thandi Modise straight up says the South African Defense Force will likely never receive any of those vehicles that 7.7 billion rand was made for. So when your own defense minister says, I know it's not happening, guys, just forget it. You know it's cooked. 2025, Sama is finished with college and is a prominent YouTube star. The SANDF is still in development phase. 18 years later, we're still developing. My brother in Christ, NASA went from concept to landing on the moon in less time than this. I was 1 year old when this started. I'm a grown person now who just finished college, and this is still in the development phase. But that's not where it gets wild. Here's where it gets absolutely wild. The Zondo Commission, that whole inquiry into state capture stuff, revealed that the Guptas basically hijacked Denel through VR laser services. They bought a 74.9% stake, got awarded massive contracts, and then just didn't do the work. They completed 14 hulls. 14 out of 217. That's not even trying. That's like ordering a full braai, and then the guy shows up with 3 Boerewors links and says, yeah, we're still in the development phase of the pub. And then when the people look at Denel, and when the people at Denel tried to fight back, like CFO Mr. Saluji, who refused to dance to the Gupta's tune, guess what happened to them? They got removed. Minister Lynn Brown came in, fired the competent board that had built up a 35 billion rand order book, the highest in Denel's history, and replaced them with Gupta-friendly people who proceeded to run the company into the ground. It's like watching someone honestly steal your car, crash it into a wall, and then send you the towing bill. Except it's 35 billion rand. But I want to tell you the current situation, because if I tell you the complete timeline, you're going to get a heart attack. I want to tell you where we are now. So where are we now? Well, Defense Minister Angie Motshekga, also me, I don't know how she got there, told Parliament that none of the vehicles are expected by the end of 2025. Because, and I cannot stress this enough, they are still in the development phase. 18 years, 7.7 billion rand still developing. Meanwhile, our soldiers are using rattles from the 1970s. The CSIR issued a request to see if we could extend the life of the 50-year-old vehicles because we can't even get new ones. It's like using a Nokia 3310 in 2025 because the iPhone you ordered in 2007 is still being developed. At some point, you must understand those people you gave the money to ran away with your money and you are mentally sick if you haven't realized. But here's my favorite part. While Tenel was completely failing to deliver a single vehicle to the South African military, they somehow managed to export weapon turrets designed for the Badger to foreign clients. Let me repeat that in case you didn't get it. They can't give us the vehicles we paid for, but they can sell parts to other countries. Just like ordering a pizza, waiting for 18 years, and then watching the pizza guy sell your toppings to your neighbor while telling you, sorry, we are still baking. So you're the fool here. And Denel has the audacity to say they have engineering capacity to complete phase 1 vehicle development. My guy, you've had 18 years. If you haven't figured it out by now, maybe engineering isn't your strong suit. Maybe try something simpler like running a lemonade stand or getting Angie Motshekga out of there. Though knowing this track record, you'd probably spend 7 billion rand and deliver 0 lemons to anybody who ordered it. This is peak South Africa, ladies and gentlemen. We can design world-class armored vehicles, the Rooikat, the Casper, the RG series. You want me to go on? All internationally renowned. We know how to do this. We've been doing it for decades. But somehow, we managed to take a straightforward military procurement contract and turn it into an 18-year, 7.7 billion rand comedy of eras featuring state capture, Gupta involvement, corporate corruption, 0 vehicles delivered, politicians admitting failure, 50-year-old equipment still in service, and a partridge in a pear tree. It's like we looked at every possible way to fail and said, yes, let's do all of them. Like someone who says they don't eat sugar but eats 30 cook sisters every day. Here's what really gets me. 7.7 billion rand. Do you know what that money could have bought? I'm sure you know. Should we go through the list again? Okay. Schools, hospitals, no more load shedding, actually functional military vehicles from literally any other manufacturer, a really, really nice collection of Toyota Hiluxes, which would probably be much more effective than whatever the Badger was supposed to be. We have nothing else than a t-shirt and millions of vehicles in development phase. And our soldiers, they are out here defending the country in vehicles older than most of our parents, wondering when they'll get the equipment they were promised nearly 2 decades ago. The 1970s, I don't think my parents left school yet. I don't think they even met yet. The best part, the absolute cherry on top, the government is now looking at new vehicle procurement projects. Project Palama wants 13 billion rand to replace Samil trucks. 13 billion rand for trucks. We can't even deliver infantry fighting vehicles after 18 years. For 7.7 billion, you want 13 billion to buy trucks. Just imagine. Like, Maybe it's me that doesn't understand the logic. Tell me, tell me. Remember, we are all learning. At this rate, by 2043, we'll have spent 50 billion rand on military vehicles and still be driving rattles from the 1970s, while politicians explain that everything is still in development. So, Sama, you've told us this story and now we are traumatized. Can you tell us what is the moral of the story? Well, apparently nothing, because we're about to do the same thing all over again with different vehicles. But the real lesson should be, when you let corruption, state capture, and incompetence run wild, you get exactly this. 7.7 billion rand spent, 18 years wasted, a whole new generation born, 0 vehicles delivered, and a military stuck using equipment from the disco era. Michael Jackson was still black when the vehicles they're driving now were made. This is a security risk. It is a slap in the face to every soldier who deserves proper equipment. And honestly, it's just really, really funny in the most painful way possible. South Africa, meet Mzansi, where we can organize a World Cup, but we cannot deliver military vehicles in under 2 decades. Well done, everyone. Truly spectacular work. I can't wait to see what we will fumble next. Project Hoyfester, 18 years, 7.7 billion rand, 0 vehicles, and infinite disaster. This is the Summer Sambit, and like always, I will see you next time.